This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Welcome, everybody, to Morning Tailgate Championship Weekend Edition. I'm Crispy Bacon, here with the Prime Moose. Tim, how you doing?
I'm doing good, excited. I think we say this once a week. I think we've been saying this once a week since preseason, going, oh, season's about to start. Here we are. We're talking conference championship, and this season's gone by a whole lot faster than I think most other seasons are, which means next week should be opening week for the 2024 season at this point.
It kind of feels like it. Kind of. Before we get to the conference championship games, because there's only two of them, let's go over some of the recent hires you have, or should I say lease hires, because one Bill Belichick is still not hired. You surprised about that?
I'm surprised, especially the way it seemed like the rumors were always talking that he was headed towards the Falcons, and then because they had the young quarterback, and he really likes to according to him, he likes to mentor young quarterbacks, especially the way he did with Brady. But I'm kind of shocked that they went to Raheem Morris. I didn't think Raheem Morris was going to get a second chance as fast as he did, but I'm glad he got a second chance.
Mm-hmm. I am too. I'm surprised they went that route. I would have thought Belichick would be in the Falcons running. He had 2 meetings with them, and then I don't know what happened after that. I would like to know, be the fly on the wall.
Exactly.
That meeting, because he has a good resume, but I wonder if they were looking at what he did without Brady.
Maybe he was looking at I think when he was in New England, I think he had both the GM role and the head coach role. Maybe he was looking for the same thing in Atlanta, and I don't think maybe Atlanta was wanting to go that route.
Right. That could be. And I think Falcons still have their general manager or owner. I can't remember.
Yeah, they still have Arthur Blank. Blank is still there. Of course, he hasn't sold the team, but I don't remember. I don't know off the top of my head who the GM of the Falcons is, but
yeah, I don't either. Carolina, after getting rid of Frank Wright, had Chris Tabor, as their interim. Now they hired I might mess up the name. Cannels.
Where was he from? I can't remember. Yeah, it was a shocking move. I figured they might have gone after the kid, your guys' former. I figured they might have gone after your former offensive coordinator, the guy that was in Los Angeles.
Now he's in Philly.
Yeah. It's a surprise. I think it's a surprise move, giving basically a first time head coaching spot to take over, to go with Chase Young. I think it would have been smarter to go with somebody who's been in a head coaching role, could be in that mentor role a little easier. But I'm a little shocked that they went away from a veteran head coach.
Yeah, I am too. He was, ironically, we just talked about Tampa Bay. He was their offensive coordinator in Tampa Bay. But no other head coaching hires.
Well, Jim Harbaugh.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
okay, no other coaching opportunities, I should say.
right.
Yeah, in LA with the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh is hired. You surprised with the team selection?
I don't know if he didn't get a chance to to interview for Washington, which I thought was really weird because I thought he'd have been a better fit in Washington. Um,
Right.
Truthfully, I think I would have stayed. Nothing against Chargers fans, but I probably would have stayed at Michigan. Maybe Michigan. He coaches there for another 2 years. Maybe he picks up a spot after next year, but I was a little shocked that he went to LA.
I am too. I wonder what made him like the Chargers, though, out of any team.
I think it's because I think Herbert's a big deal. The weapons that they still do have in Los Angeles, you've got Eckler, you got Keenan Allen, you've got you. If you're always looking for something, you're looking for those big three like Dallas had back in the '90s. You're always looking for the triplets.
Mm-hmm.
They've got it. I think what needs to do. I think he needs to have an offensive minded quarterback coach, and Harbaugh is definitely an offensive minded coach. You know, they had Brandon Staley there, and Brandon was a defensive coordinator for so many years, and they thought it was going to help the defense, and then your offense tanks. I think it'll help Justin Herbert. I think Eckler, Keenan Allen. That offense is going to look a lot better. Than you just bring in somebody who's a defensive minded coordinator just to shore up what they've got.
Right. Uh, Big B put a comment saying today's games will be more exciting than the Royal Rumble last night.
I did not see the Rumble. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. So no spoilers. I don't need that. And yeah.
Majority of it was good.
Yeah.
From my point, but we'll figure out. We'll hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Big B also said Jim took the job to be close to the great team building mind of Isaiah.
I don't trust Isaiah to build a Madden team, let alone an NFL team.
Panthers made Frank wrong.
Yeah. I think he had help in Indy for that one.
I think so, yeah. Raiders keep their interim head coach. You happy about that?
I'm extremely happy. You know, I thought he deserved it. I thought he got that team right where they need to be. He got them into playoff. He got them into playoff contention. You know, there was times where I think James would make the same comment that we weren't looking at a Raiders as being a playoff team, and here we are. We were 2 weeks away from the end of the season, and now we were talking about the Raiders being in playoff contention. I didn't see that happening with the way they were going, and I think it's because of Antonio Pierce. I think it's because of him that they got into that spot because they played absolutely out of their minds.
They did. But I also felt like any team that got the Raiders interim coach would be a contender. I kind of feel like that could be in a stretch, but
right.
That's how I felt. Who else do we got? We've had several head coaching positions. Gerard Mayo in New England, former Patriot player.
Yep. He was their linebackers coach, wasn't he? Yeah.
I thought that hire was very quick.
I thought it was. I think we talked last time we talked. I think when the week that he got hired, I think we said it was fast, but I think I think I brought it up then. That they had. I think they had that in place before they let Bill go. Um, I think a lot of people were shocked that I think we're still talking about how they were shocked. We were shocked that Mayo was such a quick hire, and they didn't seem to like interview anybody. But I think they already had their thought on the replacement on who to go. And I heard Mayo's name being used a couple times before the end of the season that he might be in line for the Patriots job, even if it comes up.
Right.
So what made me think that they may have already had a deal in place at the time when Bill was let go. So that makes me think that it wasn't that quick. I think it was a well thought out thing. And Robert Kraft doesn't, Robert Kraft does a lot of things, half without halfway thinking sometimes.
Like Jerry.
I think this one wasn't one of those things.
Right. Yeah. I think they're like, hey, we need to find a successor in case, back years ago.
Right.
And it finally happened. So I think it'll work out. We'll just have to see. Tennessee, fired Mike Vrabel and hired Brian Callahan.
Yeah.
Last name should sound familiar.
First name should sound familiar. Because if not mistaken, wasn't Brian Callahan the guy that wasn't he the Nebraska head coach for a little bit? I can't remember, but it makes me think that Brian Callahan was the Nebraska head coach for a little bit.
No,
No,
never been a head coach.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Let me see. I think I know where you're kind of coming to see. Oh, you're thinking of his dad.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
Bill,
okay, yeah, you're right.
Bill Callahan.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
From 2004 to 2007.
Yeah.
He's been in the NFL coaching before, but
Right.
as quarterbacks or whatever, but no head coaching experience in the NFL.
That's right.
Maybe he's an interim, but
well, no, he was the offense. Now that I remember, he's the old offensive coordinator for Cincinnati.
he was 2020 to 2020 to last year. He was the Cleveland Browns OC.
Okay.
Offensive line coach.
Okay.
He interim for Washington back in 2019.
That's okay. Now I remember where I remember the name from. So
he went 2-1.
2-1's nothing to sneeze at, especially with that.
No. But what do you think of the move?
It's good because Callahan knows how to has worked with big quarterbacks before. He's worked with Burrow, he's worked with Carr, he's worked with Stafford, he's worked with Peyton Manning,
Flacco.
and Flacco, right? And now he gets to develop Will Levis. It can't hurt. I'm going to tell you that. You're not going to get worse. You're already the fourth team in the NFC North or the AFC North. Again, AFC South. It's my division and I can't even figure it out. You're looking at three teams above you that finished above 500. All three that were in playoff contention, and you're the team that's left behind. They had to make a change because Vrabel wasn't getting past where he was. It was shocking. I think that Vrabel was let go. What was he, a year removed from a playoff berth?
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's always comes to that where you just don't. It was the it's the John Gruden effect when Dungy couldn't get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers into the Super Bowl, and you let Dungy go, and next thing you know, you bring in John Gruden to bring the trophy to the first trophy to Tampa Bay. I think it was one of those type of moves for the Titans.
I agree. It was kind of a surprising move, but I don't know. It's going to be an interesting decision on what how that went about.
Right.
You have 2 spots left: Washington and Seattle and Washington.
I don't know who
Any
Seattle's.
spots for them or coaches for them?
I don't know about Seattle. I truthfully think I think the Commanders need to look into their own staff. I think I said this. I think I said this last year after the Super Bowl that teams need to be looking at Eric Bieniemy and how teams have not hired Bieniemy as a head coach. I think they need to look that way. I think Seattle needs to look at Brian Johnson from Detroit, maybe Jim Bob Cooter from Indy. I think those two would be good hires in Seattle. It still blows my mind that we still haven't had Eric Bieniemy as a head coach, but it's you look at it. I think what is it? Three of the new hires have been black coaches, so something seems to be working.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to see that. So
I am too. And for Bieniemy in Washington, you already have him there.
right,
Why not just promote him?
exactly.
Unless they didn't like what they saw.
But
to be fair, I didn't see every Washington game, so I mean,
I didn't either. But the thing is, we think about it. For the longest time, Sam Howell was leading the league in passing yards. And it's crazy that it's crazy that it obviously at this point it can't be the offense is that bad. The defense is terrible, and you trade away your 2 best defensive players. I don't know why. Again, I've come back to this. Why Bieniemy? Look what Bieniemy did to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, and yet you can't. This guy can't win us. This guy can't win a head coaching job.
and with Bieniemy not being there, this year, you still have Kansas City, and we'll get to this later. Kansas City in the playoffs, a step, towards the Super Bowl. It kind of shows an effect he had.
Right. Absolutely.
So those are the final 2 head coaching spots, and we talked about Carroll when it happened, him stepping down. So now we can move on to the games. Basically, picking your Super Bowl matchup. Who's your Super Bowl matchup?
My Super Bowl matchup. I think Brandon kind of alluded to mine in the comments.
Mhm.
I see the Ravens. I've seen what the Ravens have done this year. That defense is scary good. I believe Mark Andrews is going to be back for this game against the Chiefs. I think, and we brought it up. I think we brought it up. You brought it up definitely when we were talking about Bieniemy, that the Kansas City Chiefs offense isn't the offense it was 2-3 years ago. We're talking, and then we're going to bring in Lamar Jackson against the Chiefs defense. I think that Ravens offense is a lot scarier than it has been in years past. I think the Ravens definitely are going to be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. The NFC, it's kind of weird. My brother-in-law is a San Francisco 49ers fan. My sister is a Detroit Lions fan. And it's funny because I don't want to. I'm glad I don't live near them to be close to that game this afternoon. Because I don't want to be there. I know my brother-in-law is pulling for the Lions, even though his Niners are the overwhelming favorite in that game. I've got the Lions just because I want to see somebody different in the Super Bowl or have their first Super Bowl at this point. If San Francisco plays like they played against Green Bay, Detroit, I think Detroit's going to make this competitive. I think Detroit finds a way to you keep them close. I'm not sure what the news is on Deebo Samuel.
I don't think he's playing.
I'm sorry, but I'm taking as much aspirin and much ibuprofen as I can to play in that game because it's the NFC Championship game. I don't care if I have to if I'm Ronnie Lott and I have to cut my pinky off like he did to play that season. I'm not saying he doesn't have heart. So if ESPN finds a way to pick this up and says that, and I said Deebo Samuel doesn't have heart, don't quote me on that. I didn't say that. I think Detroit. You've got a quarterback. You've got a quarterback in Detroit that's already been to a Super Bowl. He lost the Super Bowl, but he's been to the Super Bowl. I think, I've got to go Detroit. It's kind of sentimental, but I really like to see Detroit.
I would like to see Detroit too. Why not? They haven't been to the Super Bowl at all, and I think they said that fans, if Detroit were to be in the Super Bowl, want Barry Sanders to come out of retirement one day and run one play, and I think I know what that play would be.
Victory formation?
Yes.
Yeah,
And,
that's the only one that I would do.
Right. And let him get the ring.
Yeah. I truthfully think with they win the Super Bowl, and I know that the team has the right to. I can't remember how many they can have to get an honorary Super Bowl ring.
Right.
But I think Detroit, if Detroit does it, I think they give Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders an honorary Super Bowl ring. I think those two by itself, maybe Chris Spielman, but outside of that, I think those three deserve an honorary Super Bowl ring because I think if there's anybody out there, I think those three deserve it.
I would hate to be in line, for like a promotional day when if they give out replica rings.
Oh, I will.
To fans.
Yeah, those days are nice. I'm honestly, if I could ever figure out my ring size, I'm trying to find the Super Bowl ring from 2006 when we beat the Bears. So I'm trying to find one. If I can figure out my ring size, I'll have one. Believe me.
And then you can be like, yeah, I won the Super Bowl.
Well, the thing is, I think my last namesake has actually been to a Super Bowl. With Ted Hendricks. I think Ted Hendricks won one when he was with Oakland. I think it was the Philadelphia Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. It's either the Philadelphia one or the Minnesota one. Might be both of them. I don't know. But it's weird to have my name in the Super Bowl and on a possible Super Bowl ring, and it be for like the Raiders instead of the Baltimore Colts from 73.
Right. Big B is asking, could the Bears get a better steal for the number one pick than the Cowboys got from the Vikings for Walker? Who could be the team or that team?
New England Patriots.
Patriots.
Well, you heard the Gerard the Mayo press conference going. We're going to spend a lot, and we got money burning in our pockets, and we're going to spend on. So that could possibly be. We're looking at free agent, and then we're probably going to be trading half the deck of cards for the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, but it depends on what the financial people and cap
True.
analysts.
True.
You could be saying that just to say it.
Yeah.
And then Big B's also saying, Can the AFC be Taylor Swifting powers from KC?
This is like a sharp stick in the eye. Every time I see Taylor Swift, that you know, if the Kansas City Chiefs lose the AFC Championship game, then believe me, half the Kansas City Chiefs fans are going to blame Taylor Swift at this point, and if that's the case, Travis may retire right along with his brother Jason. Um, golly, I can't stand that. And the NFL is milking this to the nth degree. You got a worldwide sensation like Taylor Swift. To be honest, if I own the NFL, if I ran the NFL, I'd be doing the exact same thing. I know where everything is. If they were smart, they would have her. They'd have her. They'd do the halftime show of every Super Bowl that Jason was a part of. You just make more money at that point.
Right. I mean, she's most likely going to be the halftime show next year, only because of the attention she's getting this year. It's almost like testing the waters of the fan market.
Right.
She's successful at it this year, so I think they're like, yeah, we could see, the halftime show next year.
Where's the Super Bowl next year?
New Orleans.
She might do it. Now that you think New Orleans, it's a possibility.
It's a possibility, yeah. But out of the Kansas City, Baltimore game, who's your pick?
I'm going to take Baltimore. I think Baltimore is just too powerful for Kansas City. I think they're firing at the right time. They always talk about playoffs, like they talk about the playoffs and who's going to ride the momentum. And believe me, Baltimore is not only riding the momentum, but they're basically owning momentum at this point.
Yeah, it's so hard to choose, between these two teams, only because both teams are good. Now, Kansas City is not the team. They're not the world beaters like they were, last year. Maybe because it's new additions, no Bieniemy. I don't know, but there's something that's not right with the Kansas City Chiefs this year. But they are finding ways to win. On Baltimore's side, Lamar Jackson is a little more mature. He's learning the game more. And he's finding ways to win where he normally doesn't.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And it's kind of going back and forth. Kind of thinking Chiefs, but I think that game's going to be fun. But whoever makes it out of on both sides, it's going to be a fun Super Bowl, I think.
I completely agree. I think we get the possibility of seeing the Honolulu blue and silver possibly being in the Super Bowl. 10 years ago, you couldn't say that. It's a new. I'd be honest, it's a new day in the NFL. It's amazing to see that.
It is, and on that 2008 Lions team where they went 0-16, Campbell was part of it as a player.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, going from that to this, it's like a night to day almost.
Exactly. Absolutely.
He's like, so this is how it feels to win, which I get it.
Yeah.
The NFL announced the finalists for their AP awards,
Okay.
MVP and all that. Let's go most valuable player. You got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, McCaffrey, Dak, and Brock Purdy. I think we know who's possibly. Yeah, who do you think could?
Who do you think they're gonna? Who do you think? Who do we think they're gonna vote for?
Yeah,
They're going
Or
to
who
vote
do
for
you want?
Lamar. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be Lamar.
Who
Yeah.
do you want to win?
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I would like McCaffrey. I know it's going to be Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. It's going to be a quarterback.
And I guess not really weird, but the most disappointing thing is they're looking at the season
Yeah.
where they should look at everything. So, like, Lamar Jackson, he's in the playoffs and the championship, the championship game before the Super Bowl.
Right.
Josh Allen made it the divisional round, but he's out, so maybe he shouldn't get in.
Mm-hmm.
Dak got bounced, the first round, possibly not. You got Purdy and McCaffrey in it. So, I mean, if you're looking at that, it'd be Lamar Jackson, Purdy, and McCaffrey.
Right. I think what hurts McCaffrey and Purdy is that the fact is they're both San Francisco 49ers. So one's going to take votes from the other. And
Yeah.
that kind of sucks.
Where, yeah, if I was deciding it, I'd look at long term. Like, you're still in the season.
Right.
Coach of the year, your candidates are Dan Campbell, John Harbaugh, D'Amico Ryans, Kyle Shanahan, and Stefanski, Kevin Stefanski of Cleveland.
God,
Who's your pick?
Who I think they're going to take?
Sure.
I think they're going to take Dan Campbell, who I think they should, who I wouldn't mind because of what they've done. I think it's D'Amico Ryans.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't go from picking second in the draft to winning your division when you're not even expected to win 6 games, and it's what he did is astronomical.
Yeah, I mean, you got Stefanski. He already did the story of, almost what the Lions are going through.
Right.
So I think that eliminates it. Him from the conversation. D'Amico Ryans, yeah, it's cool that he, took the team to the playoffs after what happened last year. But they're like, what, 2 years removed from a playoff spot?
Yeah.
Dan
Yeah, 2 or
Campbell.
3. Yeah, 3 years.
Dan Campbell, he saved the Lions pretty much. 3 years later, he pretty much saved the team.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan's been to the Super Bowl a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking, and then Harbaugh's been to the Super Bowl once.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking Campbell.
Against his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be a fun matchup between the Chargers and the Ravens.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
That would be on Monday night or Sunday night.
It'll yeah, and we can you guys on between the ropes, you guys do your fantasy booking at this point.
Yeah.
We'd fantasy book that on Monday night opening week. The NFL would the NFL would
Put it on
fantasy
Thursday.
book that on Thursday.
Yeah. I'm sure that would have been a Thursday game if Harbaugh didn't show up.
Exactly.
You got weird category. We can skip it if you want. Assistant Coach of the Year.
Oh gosh.
Ben Johnson, Mike McDonald of Baltimore, Todd Monken of Baltimore, Jim Schwartz of Cleveland, and then Bobby Short, I don't know, of Houston.
I know the guy I'd be talking. I know who who I think they're going to vote for, and I think it's the same guy.
Baltimore.
No, it's going to be Brian Johnson out of Detroit.
Yeah, I think so too. He's helped out a lot with this team. So
yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh gosh.
Tyreek Hill
Oh man.
Lamar Jackson,
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb, McCaffrey, and Dak.
CD's gonna hurt. CD's gonna hurt Dak's numbers votes, and Dak's gonna hurt CD's numbers votes. Here's where this one comes about because they're going to give the MVP to Lamar, which I think should go to Christian McCaffrey. This is where Christian McCaffrey wins. I think they're going to vote McCaffrey for Offensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I think if Tyreek had played the rest of the year, I think it's going to be a close. It would have been a close one between Tyreek and Christian, but I think it's Christian.
I think so too. I think you put Christian McCaffrey here, but if like whoever wins MVP, I think you could see win this spot.
Yeah,
The other one. So I mean, it's a consolation prize, but
that's like kissing your sister.
that's true. Defensive Player of the Year: Deron Bland of Dallas, Max Crosby of the Raiders, Myles Garrett of Cleveland, Micah Parsons of Dallas, and TJ Watt of the Steelers. I would vote for Bland only because he had 5 interceptions that went for a touchdown.
Yeah, I think it's going to be between Garrett and Bland. I'll give it to Bland, but I'd like to see Garrett win it. Yeah, and because of the reason you said, because he had 5 interceptions go back for touchdowns. The moment I heard that, I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's never." And I knew that's never been done before, but it's like somebody was playing Madden on rookie and decided to let the guy just throw touchdowns in the opposite direction. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I'd give it. I'm with you. If it's not Myles Garrett, it's going to definitely be Bland, I think.
And then Big B has a question about who's going to finish the story first,
Oh, God.
Cowboys or Cody Rhodes.
Oh man.
Even though I'm a Cowboy fan, I'm going Cody.
I don't want to. I'm already guessing. I'm already guessing that Cody won the Royal Rumble last night. Thanks for the spoiler on this one.
Even if he did or not, he could still get a shot.
That's true.
That doesn't spoil anything.
That's true. It's true. It's true. If he won, I don't think he goes after. I don't think he goes after. I don't think if he's smart, he's not going after Roman. I think he goes after Seth. If he goes after Seth, yeah, he gets it first. I think. Oh man. Wow, Cowboys in 95. Wow, that hurts because next year's Super Bowl will be 30 years since the last time you guys won a Super Bowl. I do math I do math very, very fast. I'd say Cody, but then again, it could be tied. It could be the same year. Yeah, I'm gonna say Cody.
Yeah. Same here.
You don't even seem hurt by that. That's the sad thing.
I don't. One person did. We're talking about comeback player of the years, and somebody did come back yesterday.
Zach Ertz did.
That too. Oh yeah, he's with
Detroit.
Detroit. Should be fun. Comeback player of the year: Joe Flacco.
Oh man,
Damar Hamlin.
God, there's just two.
Baker Mayfield.
No.
Stafford.
No.
Or Tua. Didn't Hamlin win it last year?
No, he won. He won the inspirational player of the year.
Oh, okay.
Holy smokes! Just based on numbers alone and how many, it's Flacco. I know everybody wants the feel good story that Damar Hamlin was basically dead on the football field, and then he came back to get 2 tackles for the entire season. They're going to give it to Hamlin, but it should go to Flacco. It's just the way it's going to be.
I'm going Baker.
Baker.
I don't think it's going to be a Hamlin. He already got recognition in the situation series. I get it, but
Yeah.
he got recognition last year.
Yeah. At the NFL awards too, I think.
Yeah.
He got recognized. Yeah.
And then Flacco, he's been up and down as starter. I don't know if maybe he come back as a starter, but
yeah, I
and
don't know.
Tua, he didn't get hurt all year.
Right. Yeah. He didn't get hurt all year. I like that. Comeback player of the year. That's a good at this point, we have to be talking about Baker Mayfield because Baker's what? Is coming back to the bank, catching like 3 different checks.
Yeah.
He's cashing. He's
Cleveland,
cashing.
Rams, and Tampa.
Yeah.
Maybe another one I'm missing, but
No, those are the 3 I'm thinking of because I think Baker was in Cleveland. Yeah, I don't think he's been in a 4th team, has he?
no. I mean, if you want
Okay.
to count Oklahoma, but
Well, he might have gotten paid at Oklahoma, but that's just speculation.
yeah.
But I don't think Baker's been with a 4th team.
I don't think so either.
I can always look.
Offensive rookie of the year.
If this isn't CJ Stroud, somebody's been drinking.
Yeah, I agree. CJ Stroud's one of the choices. Bijan Robinson of the Falcons. Puka Nacua of the Rams.
Carolina.
Oh yeah, Carolina. Sorry, Panthers fans. Jamar Gibbs and Sam Laporta of the Lions. So you got 2 Lions, a Ram, Falcon, and a Texan. It's going to be Stroud.
Oh, it's going to be Stroud. Any other season we'd be talking about a tight end who was 2nd team All Pro in Laporta, winning this without a question. But CJ Stroud puts up numbers that you're not supposed to put up in your first year. It's going to be CJ Stroud walking away. It's not going to be a landslide. It's not going to be unanimous. I think the 2 Detroit Free Press guys are going to vote for Laporta. But yeah, it's Stroud. It's got to be Stroud.
I agree. I think that one's a lot.
Oh yeah, we're making that our lock for the day. Because we'll know this 2 days before the Super Bowl.
It's either 2 or 3 days, yeah, because it's the 8th. It's going to be on the 8th. Super Bowl's on the 11th.
Right. Super Bowl's on the 11th.
We'll also know the Hall of Famers coming in too.
Are they? That's right. They're going to announce the Hall of Famers. At this point, I have no clue what's going to happen there.
I don't either. And then you got Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Will Anderson.
Will Anderson of Houston.
That's all I can think of is Will Anderson. Go ahead.
Jalen Carter of the Eagles.
Oh yeah.
Relation to Joey Porter Jr.
No, he won't win.
Kobe Turner. And then Witherspoon. Javon Witherspoon.
No, it's it's Will Anderson. I think when we were picking ours back at the end of the season, I think most of us had taken Will Anderson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going Anderson too. Wasn't he a former player?
Will Anderson?
Yeah.
Will Anderson. I think there was a Will Anderson before. Like when he got drafted, like when you and I were doing the draft show, I think I couldn't remember if there was a Will Anderson before. Where was he at? Was he in New Orleans?
I think so.
I think he was in New Orleans. And he also went to, didn't he also go to Alabama too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's for some reason that's all I could think of. But yeah, there's two Will Andersons. I always thought there was two Will Andersons, but I was never really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure. The name just sounded familiar.
Yeah.
But those are your nominees for those awards. Should be a fun NFL honors, I think.
I think so too.
Should be a fun playoffs today. 2 games for one championship game, the Super Bowl. Any final thoughts before we head out?
I'm happy that they decided to put Taylor Swift in at the 2 o'clock Central game instead of everybody. We can get her out of the way early,
Yeah.
and basically enjoy the game that's going to be the later afternoon game, the Detroit San Francisco game. Honestly, I think they're both going to be fun. I think we finally got some exciting playoff. We've finally got some exciting championship games. Something that I'm going to actually enjoy because I'm going to get a chance to watch that Baltimore, that Ravens Chiefs game. I'm going to be pulling for the Ravens, because Baltimore used to be the former home of the Colts. So of course I kind of have a little stick it to the Kansas City Chiefs type blood in me right now. Have fun. Everybody who's watching, don't do anything stupid. Sit at home, watch the game, order pizza.
Don't break a TV.
Don't break a TV because it's well past Black Friday, so you're not going to get that deal again until halfway through next season. Oh wait, tax returns are coming, so I understand. I keep forgetting about that. You guys, have fun, be safe, root for Detroit, even if you're rooting for San Francisco. Root for Baltimore, even if you're rooting for Kansas City, because we need new blood in the Super Bowl, and we may get it.
We might. It just depends on how Baltimore can play today. Weather looks good there. And if you want to go back to like the 60s, 70s, you could say it's the Dallas Texans versus the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah, see, you really like to rub that one in, don't you?
Well, you mentioned about Baltimore Colts.
That's actually back to you got to go all the way. If I'm not mistaken, you have to go to the 50s for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go back to the 50s because we started in 47, 48, and I think the Dallas Texans were around 56, 53, 56, something in that area. So yeah.
Yep. So should be a fun matchup. Everybody stay safe. Don't do anything
stupid,
outrageous. Yeah, stupid. And
if your teams win, don't go out and decide to destroy. Don't go out and decide to destroy your city because that's stupid.
Don't climb light poles and
try not to do chin ups off a stoplight. Don't flip any cop cars over. Detroit, I understand this is new for you, so please act like you do like Barry Sanders did when he was in the end zone. Act like you've been there before. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Act like you did. No, forget it. I was going to say act like you did when the Pistons and the Tigers and the Red Wings all won their world championships, and then I realized each time they almost burned the city down. Be smart. Be better.
Yeah. So enjoy the games, everybody. We'll be back for Super Bowl. We might be back for two editions. Who knows? Recap this week and then preview the championship. But we'll let you guys know. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your week. And have a great week.